Yo, we back,
What up, y'all? We back
for another episode.
We had a lot, man. Season 2. Hey, before we get started, man, we need y'all to like,
follow,
share,
need that 5-star review,
sub, man. Make sure y'all tap in, man. Hit that bell for us.
Bell one time,
man. And most importantly, Joe, make sure y'all tell a friend,
tell a friend,
to tell a friend,
to tell a motherfucking friend,
to pull up. See a lot.
Season 2.
Today. This brother here, we've been trying to put this together for a minute, bro.
Yeah, sketch has been clashing, yeah. But you know what? We made it happen though, and we here.
We here today, so I'm gonna let this brother introduce himself, man. Go ahead, bro. What's going on?
Delon, aka Finch, aka Buddha, West Side of Chicago, by way of Bearwood, Austin, then Bearwood. Comedian, goddamn Q-Dog, college graduate, all around hustler, you know, one of them ones.
That man got many titles.
Many
hats.
Sure.
Yeah. So what up, bro? What you been on? How you be?
I'm swell. Everything is going swimmingly, goddamn it, you know.
Swimmingly.
Yeah, nitty-gritty.
Man, like, we got so many points we could talk about.
We
Man.
can, man.
Where do we start? Well, me
Definitely.
first.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about the comedy, bro.
Yeah.
I saw you do stand up once, so. And when I saw you do stand up, I was like, damn, bro, like really.
Yeah, he got it.
His first time was actually at your what was the name of your fashion comedy show?
I forgot the name of the fact.
It was at your event. That was the first time I saw you
at Evil Olive.
Yeah,
Evil Olive.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw you live doing stand up, bro. And I thought you was hilarious, bro. So and then
Appreciate
so from that moment in, I'm like I was really been like tapping in and see it. So so talk to me a little bit about that shit. When I know you was funny when we was coming up, but like when did you start? Like,
I caught him at
a comedian.
I caught you at the open mic, right? Yeah, I caught him at the open mic. And I was just going there and I just happened to see him. I'm like, damn, bro, what up, bro? Like, and the man I'm talking about, had the crowd going nuts, bro. I'm talking about, I'm like, oh yeah, this nigga gotta get on the show for sure.
So talk to me a little bit about that, bro. How did you get into comedy? Like, where was that?
So I'm from Austin, right? Austin neighborhood, and I grew up a little bit tough, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a story. But I ended up moving to Bearwood. And I always thought I was pretty lighthearted and shit, but even though I was only 20 minutes away from Bearwood, it was like a world away, you know what I'm saying? So compared to the motherfuckers in Bearwood, I ain't have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like niggas was cracking your mama jokes and shit. I'm like, well, that's fighting words. You know what I'm saying? So I was really whooping shit for a long time because I didn't have a sense of humor and shit wasn't funny to me. You know what I'm saying? In that capacity, you know. So, but when I was in like 6th grade, I got a friend named Quentin. And Quentin was like Quentin, skinny as hell, and was like he'll flame your ass up though, like quick. And I knew that he didn't mean no harm by it, so it coming from him felt a lot different. You know what I'm saying? And then I wouldn't go trying. That's my homie. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get thick skin or get my ass roasted until oblivion, goddamn it. So he kind of like brought out my sense of humor and shit, just being around him and his people, and you know, a couple other friends who was just naturally funny. You know what I'm saying? You kind of get addicted to it and shit. But I grew up early. I was one of them kids. I wasn't really raised. I was just around type shit, and so I watched whatever I wanted to watch and shit. I never had no restrictions, and one of them things was Comic View. Yeah. I used to love Comic View, so I was the little boy that was always like watching that shit and repeating the jokes. You know what I mean? And that shit was too grown for me, but I was loving it and processing it because I was already growing up fast as hell, so I was, you know, privy to shit that other kids wasn't, you know? I remember one day I'm in school and I ain't got no super supply beginning of this school year. And I asked this girl for some paper. And at the same time, another nigga said, let me get some paper. She was like, hold on, I'm gonna pick one of y'all. Alright, who? She said, first person make me laugh, I'm gonna get some paper. So he finna go, I stopped that nigga, hold on, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna give her my best Comic View shit.
How old was you?
It's probably like 3rd grade or some shit.
3rd grade watching Comic View. Yeah, you know what? I think I was watching that shit too. BET After Dark, all that shit.
Oh yeah, definitely. So So he finna go, I stopped that nigga, hold on, I got this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna give her my best Comic View shit. My best Comic View. I fuck, oh yeah, definitely. So I spit the joke, and she was like, next. Look at that nigga, right? And that nigga said, your mama's so stupid, she saw some doo-doo on the toilet and ate it because she thought it was chocolate. Shorty couldn't stop laughing.
Hey, right? And it's third grade.
Third grade.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so that kind of was like, the fuck just happened right here, you know? But that was my earliest, like, one of my earliest memories involved in comedy. But other than that, I was just somebody who people thought was funny, but I'd be dead serious and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then I think how I honed my writing style was like social media. I used to like write original jokes and shit, and in long format. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really writing out how I would say it. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of how I write a joke today. But how I got into comedy, I went to college with a guy named Kyrie. He still does comedy here in Chicago, and he was known for being funny in college, you know, and he had a comedy show and invited a lot of the college motherfuckers that we know, and I was one of them. I go to the show, he get off, and he did a good job. It was very professional, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, he got a future in this shit, you know? And I told him that, and he said, you know, it's supposed to be you. And I'm like, what you mean? He was like, you funny as fuck, bro, you should do this shit. And it kind of landed on me because I always loved comedy and shit, like, you know, so I'm like, I'm gonna give it a try. And then, you know, you sign up for open mics, and open mics be like 3 minutes. They don't sound like a lot of time, but it's a lot of time, especially if your ass bombing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I started going to bartenders, like near West Side or whatever, and with Leon Rogers, and that's how I got started. Shit. And I had a lot of pride associated with, like, I don't like being thirsty and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wanted to get booked on shows, but I didn't want to be like big motherfucker. So I just kept doing the shit until people was putting the shows on. It was like, hey, I want you part of my show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I went so far. And I ain't been doing it in recent months because I had some shit going on, but I love it. It's like one of the first things that I ever did that I didn't look for the money in it. It was just like something that fills my cup, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was it's a great thing because I knew so many of the comedians from a shorty that me doing comedy and then getting off stage and getting the praises from motherfuckers you grew up watching is like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I fuck with it. You know?
So I was gonna ask you, like, what's that like? Because I do see that you got the Leon Rogers connection, like, you know, having somebody like, shit, we grew up on listening to him on the radio, and then, like, seeing him do like the, you know, stand up
on Comedy View.
Yeah, you know, so like
a couple times.
Yeah, so how is that experience, like, you know, being able to have somebody like that to, you know, see your work and then, you know, acknowledge you?
It's a great feeling because that is, for me, that's what makes it. You know what I'm saying? Some folks, they in it for money and shit. A lot of comedy people broke as hell, and I think because I've had a real job this entire time making adult money and shit. Like, I ain't had that pressure that a lot of motherfuckers do, and I wasn't doing it for money, so I had a different perspective on it. So I got to see both sides of it. I would like see comics who was like in it to win it. That's all they do is comedy shit, but they got a real struggle life. You know what I'm saying? And a motherfucker like Leon Rogers was like, man, don't quit your motherfucking job, cause he got a job. You know what I mean? Right. And he can easily be a touring comedian. He one of the funniest motherfuckers ever. You know what I'm saying? But he chose stability. He stayed in Chicago. He got his own room. He hosts hella shit. He bringing in some paper. You know what I'm saying? But for me, what I recognize is like the shit that made me feel good was getting praises from Leon Rogers, Damon Williams. You know what I'm saying? I've done a number of shows, but like, you know, Laugh Factory LA was a pinnacle for me, like to like perform there, just because you see all the clips that go viral and shit. You see that background, you're like, damn, I need to do that shit. Yeah. Then you realize the one in Chicago ain't the one that you want to be on. I mean, it's a good space to be, but the smaller one in LA is where all the celebrities be and shit. So I go out there and I kill it twice, right? And I get off stage and I see motherfuckers like Benji Brown, that's the dude who used to be like, King. Him, JD, Lester Berry, Ron Taylor, I think he a younger comedian right now, but a bunch of motherfuckers that I know, CP, I recognize them motherfuckers as like, you know, established comedians, touring comedians, really funny niggas, and they was like, hey, yo shit, original as fuck, you not your hand, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, that's the shit that make you feel good about it.
That shit definitely original. I can't say that you remind me of any other comedian though, bro. I definitely gotta tip my hat to you, though, for sure.
I appreciate that.
What was it? Yeah. What was it like when you first bombed, first got them boos?
I have never gotten boos.
Ooh, that was gonna be my question. Have you ever got booed?
No, I bombed, but I've never got booed.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And most motherfuckers think a boo is the worst thing that can happen to you in comedy. It is not. A room being silent in a motherfucker is, you know what I'm saying? Because if some shit that you got going on, you think it's funny and you spit that shit with great confidence and motherfuckers stone face you, you know, you're like that. It don't feel good. Now I bombed to my standards, and I had a situation where I just gave up on stage, like, you know, I was like, all right, come get this mic. They were like, damn, I just gave you a motherfucker. And I was like, come get this motherfucker, Joe. But that's my only, like, that was a weak moment, but that was my only one, you know what I'm saying? Other times I got through that shit and I got some kind of giggle, you know what I mean? But those are bombs for sure, but I ain't never been a motherfucker where somebody be like, yeah, leave that shit where it's at, bro. You need to get you a trade, nigga.
So being up there, right? Like, what's that to get in that flow? Like, what gotta happen? Do you gotta get that one giggle and then you like, all right, fuck it, I'm cool now, let's flow? Like, what gotta happen for you to get in that mode?
Well, I think you gotta be confident, right? But the way to get that confidence is to be prepared, you know what I'm saying? And so you gotta know your material. And you can't really learn your material verbatim. Like, I'm gonna say this, then that, then this, then that. You can study it like that, but you wanna write your joke out and then say your shit and then be honest with yourself. Does that shit flow? Right? Because I stutter, I stammer and trip up on words and shit, you know what I'm saying? So the way I think some shit may not be the best way that I should say some shit. Because it might be a tongue twister the way I thought it.
Yeah.
So like, you know, or it may be too wordy because, you know, in comedy you gotta build your joke out. You know what I'm saying? So, cause you might have a funny premise and one punchline, but it ain't enough. It don't really land. You know what I'm saying? So what you gotta do is you gotta go up there and try that shit, full confidence, you know, and if they fuck with it, put that motherfucker in your pocket, like, all right, that won't work. I gotta build on that. You know what I'm saying? And you just keep trying to like piece shit to it. Or, you know what I'm saying, that joke, you might build that joke out, it might be 2 minutes. And you get the laugh you want, but it might be the seed that you gonna call back to for a bigger joke. You know, your last joke might go all the way back, pick that joke up and bring it into the new one.
That's smart though.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, these are methods that's been around, you know what I'm saying? They call them callbacks, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, being up there, getting over it, you gotta be comfortable with your material, you know what I'm saying? You gotta talk that shit to yourself like you've been saying this joke and you know this shit funny, you know what I'm saying? Because if you up there, people smell that fear. If you like not confident, and you look into the crowd, and motherfuckers is really locked in on you, they got attention on you, all eyes on you. If you ain't prepared, that'll make you forget alone. That alone make you forget.
Shit.
And don't let you get a heckler. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker wanna fuck with you. You know what I mean? I had a heckler one time. I had went to a comedy show on the south side. It was at Francis. It was used to be on Mondays. Niche had a room, Manic Mondays. Go in that bitch. 1 week, I only got about 3 minutes of material, so I do my shit. I kill it. You know, I feel good. I'm always nervous before and shit, but I do good. I come back because, pause that. when you're doing comedy, what you first realize is you go 4-5 weeks in a row. The niggas that you love seeing, they doing the same jokes. Everybody don't just keep making some shit, hot material and shit, new material and shit. So, but in my mind, it's kind of weird, but it's the standard. It's like jokes ain't that easy to come by. Good jokes ain't that easy to come by, and it's your material. So sometimes motherfuckers want to stay fresh. Sometimes motherfuckers want to say they joke and add a little piece to it. You know what I'm saying? To see if they can build it out more. But I wasn't really hip to that shit initially. So I'll be trying new shit every time. You know what I'm saying? Really fucking up. I forgot why I went there, but that is important. Like that's why I wasn't inviting a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm working on my shit. You don't invite me or whatever. Then it's an open mic. Motherfucker, room packed, and then I might not go up. You know what I'm saying? So I get up there, and you might have seen me a week ago. Now you like, man, invite me out again. I invite you out again, and you should do the same shit. How many times you go come back out? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so.
Well, what would you say is the, I guess, the most amount of people that was in the room?
I did the Keenan Thompson showcase at the Lab Factory here. Packed crib, packed house. I've done the college, my first paid event. It was at the college, Langston. It was like homecoming week, so it was a lot of motherfucking people.
We talking 100?
I'd say with the Langston joint, maybe 1,000 kids.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Maybe the same thing. Maybe the same thing at Lab Factory.
Okay. So what is it like, right? Because I be following you on Facebook, right? You make a lot of statuses and shit, and a lot of people give you backlash sometimes, especially like women and shit. They make your jokes, they give you backlash. Talk to me a little bit about that. Like, what is that like? What is it like dealing with not even just women giving you backlash? What is it like dealing with backlash from your jokes and shit?
I will never forget.
How you handle that?
I'll never forget the scooting one.
Oh, scooting up,
yeah. That shit was so fucking
That's
funny.
a crowd favorite, but the backlash. That's always been there, really. I don't say shit that I can't defend, you know what I'm saying? And I don't say shit just to be a devil's advocate. I hate that shit. Like, somebody might just argue with you with a point that they really don't even believe in, you know? I don't do that shit either. But I used to get into it with chicks all the time online because I'll be participating in them Venus versus Mars conversations and really standing on business, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not one of them he-man, woman-hating ass niggas, you know what I mean? But when I get online, I know y'all see the same shit. We get online as men. First thing you see is women tearing niggas down and shit. We ain't really taking it personal, but what it will do is motivate you to speak your side of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I hop online, I see women talking shit about niggas constantly, right? Now I say my shit, and I ain't even doing it out of with any malice behind it. I might point out a contradiction. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers be having a problem with the truth. And one thing I noticed about social media, man, social media is where motherfuckers can hide behind a computer and speak to shit in a way that says to the world they have more morals than they actually do. You know what I'm saying? So a motherfucker get on social media and be like, y'all gotta stop whooping these kids, be at home 10 kids fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But morally on social media you can be the fuck you wanna be. And a lot of motherfuckers weaponize the sensitivity of other people by hopping online and fucking with somebody about some shit that ain't even that serious. But then they get the crowd behind them. Now they done cancel the motherfucker, did that and forth. I don't be for none. Like, it can be 60 motherfuckers on there. Everybody can get these Twitter fingers. I don't be kidding. So yeah, but I had a homegirl one time. She was like, "You got a problem with fat motherfuckers?" I'm like, "No, I don't." But we're gonna talk about the contradictions, and yeah, we can get on that. Cause she was a big girl all the time since I had known her, right? Then she lost a gang of weight. And you know, there's a lot of black women who heavy set, but their body be maintaining them curves. And when they lose that weight, it's even crazier. You be like, damn, you know what I mean? So that's what happened to her. So she anytime you say somebody a fat motherfucker, they always want to try to tell you why they fat. You know what I'm saying? And they be on some shit like, well, I just come from a family of big motherfuckers. Nah, you come from a family of eaters, baby. Eaters, baby. That's all it is. You're not gonna convince me of this misty, like, everybody can't be skinny, everybody can't. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, that don't mean you gotta be a big motherfucker either. You know what I'm saying? So she trying to give all these excuses and shit, right? And I'm like, she said, take from me, I was a big girl, then I was a skinny girl, now I'm a healthy big girl. I got a problem with that statement. You know what I'm saying? Because how did you get fat? Eating what the fuck you wanted to eat. How did you lose the weight? Eating better. Now, how did you get back fat? You ain't do it with vegetables, bitch.
You ain't do it with vegetables, bitch.
You know what I'm saying? Stop talking to me like I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes you being a person to say something that fucking obvious, you gotta be the asshole. You know what I mean? It ain't my intentions, but don't talk to me like I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? No.
You ain't got no filter, that's all.
And no, I got
you gotta go ahead.
I used to not really have that like a real filter, but I had to realize like my ego was involved in that. Like just because you feel as though you saying what you saying is the truth, don't mean you gotta say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a time and place for everything and shit. And you know, words and started wars, they definitely piss a motherfucker off. So shit, you know, a lot of times I write some shit out now and I be like, nah, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying?
So that kind of brings me into my next question. What was it like being in a real diverse crowd? So does that affect your jokes?
I thought it would originally, but I learned very early, like, and then right in the beginning, that you ain't gotta care about that shit, cause they not paying to see a white man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I used to think, like black versus white. I didn't care about nobody else. It was like black versus white thing for me. And when I would take my jokes to like the north side, you know, comedy bar and shit like that, and like Laugh Factory or whatever bar, I would like talk more proper and shit. Like I don't code switch, but I would like be more descriptive. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't natural and shit. And I had a comedian from Chicago named Corey B was like, man, like they paying to see you, like giving you. I don't give a fuck who in this bitch. And I'm like, damn, you right. So then I just started being, you know, a nigga from Austin in front of everybody. I don't get no fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I don't do no code switching. I'm gonna give it to them raw and authentic, white or black or Hispanic, or, you know what I'm saying? Because I met Michael Collier, you know what it is, funny as hell, and he gave me some advice. He said, don't pander to the audience. You know what I'm saying? Because they can feel that shit and they won't rock with you if they feel like you just do whatever they want you to do. The point of comedy is for you to get your shit off. I mean, your main goal is to, everything you want to say on that mic, you get it off that night. And you want to be as funny as you think you are, and you just hoping that they join. You know what I'm saying? And don't waver in the middle of your set. Just go as hard as you can. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully they fucking with you. And that's where the authenticity comes from. Cause I be nervous on stage. You know what I mean? Heartbeat quicker than this shit. But somehow when I get off stage, people be like, "You was so calm up there." Oh, the fuck I went.
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? My shoes just beating fast as hell.
Yeah, that was. But I do got that kind of thing, like where like historically, when I've gone through like some tough shit or like some high pressure moments, my response is like, so like I calm down.
Damn, when I'm nervous, I got shit every time.
I know you get all that. I'm saying like some people nervousness will make them jittery and make them fumbly and shit, like, or like, you know, you in danger, you go do some unsafe shit. Yeah. That is not me. You know what I mean? Like, you know, in car accidents, motherfuckers will be scared, tense up, and that's how you get injured. That's why the motherfuckers who sleep behind the wheel never get hurt, because they loose. You know what I'm saying? And I've had some bad accidents, rolled the car, all kind of shit, and came out that bitch. Nothing wrong. And not even a scratch. You know what I'm saying? So, just fortunate naturally on that kind of shit. But you know, historically I've always done shit that scared me anyway. I ain't never thought it made sense to let fear dictate your movement. You know what I mean? And I learned early playing sports shit. Scary motherfuckers get hurt the most. You know what I mean? Especially in like football, you know, them hitting drills. That shit hurt when you first start doing it, and you run into the older kids and shit, and then you start to realize, man, like if you watch it closely enough, when them motherfuckers running towards each other, at the last second, one of them always pull up just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I started to realize, fuck pulling up. That's how you get hurt. That's how you start running into shit. You know, and I carry that mindset throughout life and shit. Like, you know, I ain't somebody with outfit. Like, that's why I grew up fighting a lot of shit. And a lot of motherfuckers, they mistake is thinking that the nigga they fighting, if they scared, they pussy. You know, that ain't how that shit go. If you say you can hit me, and I know you can fight, I might be scared. It ain't gonna stop me from fighting. And I'm gonna hit you first. You know what I'm saying?
Hit you first, I'll get that shit out of the way.
Remember, as a shorty, hit me first. Don't mind if I do.
You keep that, I'm gonna give you exactly what you're looking for.
Twice, nigga.
Yeah. So, but you know, we had this conversation earlier or last week. I kind of brought up like being from like growing up in Bellwood, like all the talent that we had in Bellwood.
Mm-hmm.
He was cold at football too, and you wrestled too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did everything. I did too much shit.
So like playing sports and like all the talent, like speak to about like being an athlete from the town shit. Like.
Honestly, man, when I came from Austin, I thought I was good at every damn thing, and I was athletic and shit. But Bellwood was on a different level because they had a history of organized sports around there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a step up, and I was young and dumb. I was one of them spacey ass kids who was like, you give me instructions, and I don't know what the fuck you really just said, and never really wanted to ask you to clarify, because you know adults handle kids a certain way that'll make you not want to say certain shit, and I was in that space. You know what I'm saying? But my first couple years in Bellwood, I didn't really excel. You know what I mean? Because I was stupid. You know what I'm saying? And just keep it a buck. I was just not, you know, I ain't have a father figure, nobody to teach me shit, so I'm just, you know, and the adults ain't really that patient. So I had some growing pains and shit. But certain shit I was already good at, basketball and shit like that. But like football, I ain't know shit. I ain't not reading no defense or know how to walk through. They like walk through the play. I was playing DN one day. They was like, this a walkthrough, don't hit the quarterback. I don't know what the fuck walkthrough mean, but I don't want to ask. Because I'm looking around and seem like everybody else know. They go to whistle, I'm flying. And I'm smacking the shit out the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? In hindsight, I'm like, yeah, you was a little fucking dummy. But, you know, you wasn't being raised. But I would say we step up in competition, and with a lot of motherfuckers in Bellwood who was super talented, who should have done more. And I fell victim to that. You know, I was never doing enough in school because I was always smart and like well liked by teachers and shit. I got away with not doing much, but just giving me certain assignments and shit. And I did more makeup work than I did real work. You know what I'm saying? I was one of them students. You know, so. Yeah, man. I excelled in sports my whole life. I want to just get a couple of bands and, you know, rock out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Have some shit that's just making money hand over foot. Drugs sell itself.
So. Sure. That's with everything. Pharmaceutical, drugs, everything. They all sell themselves. They always be useful.
Uber shit like that, that shit go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That shit go
Some states got that model and they do very well. You know what I'm saying? Because the money when you do get some business is very good. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they definitely trying to drown. They trying to dilute the shit and like You know what I mean? So they can take it over. I don't know who they is, but it's some money. It's one fuck with some money. Cause they fucked us over. We supposed to be the sole transporters in the state, and then you give our biggest customers the right to do their own shit. And so, you know, I'm part of a group right now trying to sue. So hopefully that goes our way.
Yeah, for sure. So, alright, so what would you like to do, right? Would you like to ask every guest, like, what's a gym? So a life gym, it can be a gym for a young comic coming up, or even if somebody just trying to get into the transportation business. Like, what's a gym you can get them that they can take? What's some advice?
A big gym from the transportation shit. So, basically, cannabis is an industry that is in its infancy. You know what I'm saying? Because regulation it's still rolling down the pipeline. It still ain't legal in the state. It's still not completely legal certain places. You know what I mean? But what I learned through that process was that fear can make you make moves that you're not supposed to make, right? So like, I think a lot of black folks that was trying to get into space was so scared to fuck up because we really traumatized by that fake war on drugs and shit. Like, nobody want to catch no drug charge and shit. And it was just your fucking luck that you got a license and still go to jail for moving the shit wrong or doing something wrong, whatever. I didn't see that on my counterparts, on my white counterparts and shit. No fear, you know what I mean? What they would do is they would read the legislation and they not looking for what that shit says. They looking for what it don't say. Right? That's how you operate in the gray area. And the gray area is where the fucking money at. You know what I'm saying? Because I read this book called A Hacker's Mind. You know what I'm saying? When you hear the word hacker, what you think about?
Shit. Getting in the system type shit. Like, yeah.
Computers and shit.
Yeah.
A hacker, they ain't got to fuck with no computer necessarily. A hacker is somebody who can use a system for a purpose different than what it was meant for.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I remember in that book there was a story about one of the PayPal founders. So whenever you establish a company, you know, a corporation, they go, one of the questions on the application is, you know, how many shares do you want? How many common stock or whatever. It's just you saying, how many pieces do you want to divide this company into? You ain't went public yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's the goal. So you build your company up to, you know, get a good gross revenue, you know, and good business going, and then you take that bitch public. And so basically the idea that you had and brought to life will now be evaluated, and the market will tell you how much that business is worth. You know what I'm saying? So those imaginary shares you had are now worth some money. One of the founders, what this motherfucker did was, he had hella shares, and it was like, each one was like 0.00 some fraction of a penny or some shit, right? So he gave himself a lot of fucking shares, right? But he just gave them to himself. He bought the shares from his company with his IRA. You know anything about an IRA? An IRA, it grows tax-free. So the money you put into it is taxed initially, but the growth from there, tax-free. So when he bought the shares from his company, they wasn't worth shit. Built the company, now PayPal worth billions. He cashed out. Motherfucker made billions of dollars, tax-free. Wow. Now that's a move I'd have been scared to make. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us do our own taxes on TurboTax and be like, these people finna arrest me because I fucked up. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? You scared of that shit. These motherfuckers will look at the tax code and be like, you know, technically you don't say this. It say I can't do this, that, and the fourth. You know what I mean? I can't do this and that. Do it. You know what I'm saying? So now the older I get, man, fuck what it say, what it don't say.
Yeah, that's one.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Y'all heard it. Yeah. So make sure y'all take that shit and stamp it and remember it. Play it, make a clip out of it. But before we slide, I already know what y'all need to do. Oh, before we slide, man, tell them where they can follow you and tap in with you.
I'm Comedian Finch, comedian.finch on everything, you know.
Any upcoming shows? Somebody pull up to? Any upcoming events?
No, not yet. Maybe in a comedy festival with Loretta Storm, but I ain't got word back yet. But
okay, all right,
it's in the works.
Alright, but make sure y'all be on the lookout if it do happen. Or let the lot know and we'll tap in. So before we slide, man, make sure y'all like, share, sub, follow the pod, man. Hit the
Buy
bell.
some rap patches,
Man, get y'all some rap patches for show. Man, before we slide, man, make sure y'all tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
To tell a motherfucking friend.
To pull up.
The lot. Season 2.
I think Big G made this beat.